So it says that we're live.
Hey, Shalom. Shalom.
Just want to
Like
make
to
sure.
give all prayers and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
What's up?
Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. The Wadi Yabashim El Shai for to the apostles and the elders, Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Akim. Once again, we out here to on the behalf of Yahweh Yahushua and to push their will. And so, cause we just vessels. The Wadi Yabashim El Shai for having us do this. And I'm with the Elder Debat, and we back on the forefront, Lord willing to be edifying, and we do the will of Yahweh Shem Shah.
I'm trying to see if we're actually live. It says that we're live, but
I see live. I see that. We're live, baby. I don't know I got no access on my phone to know what
okay. Good. It says yep. Okay, it says that we're good.
Okay.
All right, Khan, we're live. All right, Khan. All right, hey, Shalom, brothers. Salaki for the delay. Just want to make sure that everything's in order. We could be heard. We could be seen. Now that I see that we're good, we can go about the lesson. As you see the title, it is a small part of a much larger plot, and through the mercy, spirit, and inspiration of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that came into fruition by some videos that we see now quite frequently in terms of gun violence, especially in the city of Philadelphia. I mean, every other upload on CBS Philly is about some sort of gun violence. Okay, now I'm going to link a video into the description box, so if brothers want a point of reference, they can go and check it out. But one thing that I want to highlight in the spirit is this is part of the prophecy being fulfilled in Matthew's, okay, which I'm going to have the brother get it real quick. If you could read our first precept, go to Matthew's 24 and 12. We're going to start there, and then we'll just kind of break it down as we go along, because it's a twofold situation, okay? So we're going to get into it through the scriptures, and the whole point is to warn the flock, right? Warn Israel, bring them back to their power. So through this lesson, I hope that is done, and then ultimately, we've been made a prophet unto the nations. So the whole world got to hear this testimony. They got to hear the gospel. They got to hear the good news of the Israelites. But you remember, the good news for the Israelites is bad news for the heathen, beginning with the Edomites, beginning with the rest of the others, whether they're Moabites, whether they're Ammonites, whether they're Ham, Japhet, okay, down the table of nations. Good news for the Israelites, but bad news for them. Why? Because the Lord is taking them out of power, right? Bringing us into power and taking them out of power. So we focus on these things because, as the apostles before us have gone into, when we speak the Lord's words, they come not back to him void. Right? This is the river of living water. So this thing is always in motion. Things are always happening. Okay? So we speak these things, and as Amos 3 and 6, it is written that surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. And that's how the Lord deals. Whenever the Lord getting ready to do something, he sends forth a prophet. Okay, the word prophet meaning to speak or say before, right?
Yep.
Prophet to let you know.
That's right.
Okay, and so, hey, begin with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, down to us men. We fulfilling that stead. So come with it. Matthew's 24 and 12.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
It says because iniquity shall abound. Now, iniquity, okay, is sin, all right? And we see that we living in a very wicked society, very wicked kingdom, where that type of behavior is abounding right now. It's in abundance. It's on an uptick. It's on the rise. Okay, there's all these different movements being pushed, all right? And we're seeing that as those things are being pushed and more wickedness is prevalent within society, the actions of people are becoming what? Less compassionate. People are getting cold. They're not as compassionate. They're not as merciful because it's a whole spirit. It's a whole perverse spirit in this kingdom being pushed nonstop on these people. All right.
Hey Elder, can I bring out the word going in Greek?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is G40. This is G458, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna let the secretary say it because I might pronounce it wrong. And it says, Salakia. My little thing don't want to act right. Oh, I'm offline. Give me 1 second. Let me get a little internet service in this damn phone. All right. I just wanted to let the word and I'm gonna read the rest of it. Can you hear me, Elder?
Yeah, yep, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Salakia, 1 second. Check this out.
Gone.
Look what it says in the word iniquity. Enomia. Enomia. You got it? It's enomia?
Gone.
Okay, so look what it says. It says anomia, the condition of without law.
Right.
Because of ignorance of it, because of violently contempt and violent of law, iniquity, wickedness. So that's the people.
That's right.
Because they don't want to, we're going to narrow it down to our people, because the video you sent me when I was watching it, I started thinking about when we was young, because we didn't know no better. But now, the scripts, like the Apostle Tahar says, he said when he broke down the brothers that came back in because they stopped sinning. But these people don't want to stop sinning. The prophets, it's more prophets out now prophesying the iniquity that the people are doing. Cry out loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Show my people their transgression. If I said that right, Salaki, if I didn't say it right. But that's what's happening. It's just more prophets out here telling these people to stop doing what you're doing. The Lord is coming back. Get prepared. Prepare yourself. So
that's good. That's the ultimate message. Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right.
So that's a good point. That's a great point. At the end of the day, the main message is for Israel, because only they've been given the ability to repent. So
that's right.
But the reason for reading this is we live in a generation where it is popular to do wicked acts.
Okay? That's where the word wickedness came in.
Trendy to be a demon. Okay. in so much they literally got filters now. You put it up to you, and you got an angel meter on one side and a devil meter on the other side. Okay. How much of an angel? How much of an angel are you? How much of a demon are you? And in this society, that type of mentality is popularized. Okay. To be wicked, to be self-centered. And the scriptures say that in this time, right, there was going to be perilous times, and there was going to be men lovers of self, right? There was going to be all these forms of wickedness going on, and we clearly see that. So now, the way that links to the video that I shared with the brother, that will also be accessible in the description box, is because, yes, we see an uptick in violence. Okay, we see an uptick in people being put to death. Okay, particularly with guns. There's a large increase in homicide rates in all major cities across the board. Okay, but as the title of the lesson is, it's a small part of a much larger agenda. So what's changed? Because these types of things have been going on, but remember, there was a time where they would suppress this. You wouldn't see this every single freaking second, every single minute, every hour. Like I said, you go to these YouTube news stations, and every other upload is a homicide, gun violence. It's because there's a narrative at play. You got to remember, the Esau, being the devil that he is an opportunist. So while these things are going on and our people are bugging out here and being wicked as all hell, Esau's using that as a means to justify taking away people's means of protecting themselves. Okay. And see, we get on 2/3 okay, in times of in terms of Jacob's trouble. But see, a lot of what is gonna come upon Israel, you know, and Israel's gonna suffer. These Edomites are gonna suffer. That's the whole thing. Hey, Shalom brothers on the comment board.
Hey, Shalom.
So a lot of the things that we see happening is part of a much larger plan, a much larger plot. Okay, in terms of these episodes of gun violence, they're going to use this as a means of justification to what? Take away the guns. That's the mantra. If you go to these comments, you see people echoing that same mentality. Oh, you got to take away the guns. You got to take away the guns. Now, how does that relate to prophecy? Because the Lord said that these things were going to stand in the power of people's hands, because they're expecting resistance, because we're in a global transition. We're in that NWO transition right now.
That's right.
Okay? But see, the warning is for you Israelites who believe in your guns, who take in strength in your training, who believe that when these things start to happen, that you're going to be able to trust in yourself to get by and defend. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get through. You're not going to make it. That's the point.
I got pizza for you, Elder.
What the hell with Esau? I'm using him as an example of part of a much larger picture, but the focus is really you Israelites.
I got a precept for you.
Okay, let's bring it out. So we hit
Salakia. You was on point. It says Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Right. And what's the knowledge? Spiritual knowledge.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Who are they as Israelites? When you know who you are, then you can proceed, okay, accordingly. If you don't know who you are, then you're liable and susceptible to whatever's being pushed in the media, whatever the mainstream narrative is. Okay, because for the longest time, you know, whatever we have been taught in society, that's what we repeat. That's what we do. So all we know is what we've learned within this wicked ass society. At least you've received the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, where you've been able to repent, clean yourself up, and then go that new way. What way? The way of Yahweh Shai, the way of truth. Okay, the way of truth and life. Okay, which is through Yahweh Shai. So, you know, through that we learn that we got to discipline ourselves, that we can't make impulsive decisions. That when things, progress and we come into these different prophecies, our main hope is in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and how he's going to provide for us. Okay, he's going to have to be the one to stand for us. He's going to be the one that has to defend us. It doesn't matter how trained we are, how skilled we are, whether it's in, throwing down with hands or using some sort of weapons or whatever we got. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to know how to defend yourself. But when these prophecies start really happening, who are you to rely and depend on for your help? That's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. Because this man, he's already got Israelites marked as domestic terrorists. He's already got these different Edomite organized militia groups down as domestic terrorists. So they're coming for everything. They're coming for the that you have. They're coming for the so-called protection you think you got. They're coming for all those things. So what is our defense in these times of trouble? Because this violence is going to keep going. And through it, they're going to use it as a means of opportunity to take more of your rights away, to take your away. Remember, the whole Second Amendment was built upon the idea that if the government became tyrannical, you would use those so-called weapons against said tyranny. That's what the Second Amendment, but see, they're trying to undo all of that. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? They're trying to undo all of that. Now, like I said, the bigger matter is you Israelites got to learn that your power is trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. He's going to provide the provisioning. He's going to provide the security. He's going to provide that standard that's going to be lifted up against this man where we're going to be protected. We're not going to be able to meet this man in carnality because it's been given into the power of his hand to rule the earth with his different carnal weapons and such. So we're not going to be able to stand against him in that way. And again, that's more so the point of the matter.
That's right.
Right. So
that's right. We don't ever.
What do you what were you just reading? My people
Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. We finish reading it? Okay.
Finish that and make any points that you got to make.
Okay. Okay. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. because thou hast rejected knowledge. How did he reject knowledge? Our apostles have been out there for 3 decades, bro. For more than that, we know since Albert Bibbins, so you know it's been a generational thing.
Right.
And what's happening? They don't want to accept the truth that's been given to them. They become Muslims. They become, we've been in the world. We've become Christian, 5%ers. So those things has not given us true understanding. So now, us coming into this truth, we're able to hold the baton, get out there on the forefront.
Right.
That's what this is about right now. We're building a legacy, a righteous legacy that's going to live forever and ever, forever. And they don't want it. This is why my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. What true knowledge? Because thou hast rejected knowledge, the knowledge of Yahweh Shemel Shah. I will also reject thee. And that's what goes into that video you sent me when the young boy, you see his parents. I didn't see his father. I didn't really watch the whole thing, but I got up to that point where they was hugging him, and they actually the community guideline. Everybody's opened up some type of place for kids, the safe haven for kids to go. The safe haven ain't in no damn building. The safe haven is Salakia. The safe haven is in this book.
That's right.
This is our refuge, man.
Yeah, man.
So Salakia, elder.
No, good. That's
because
the only true way things get better.
Yep. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Right, because right now, man, the majority of the Israelites are void of righteous judgment and righteous spirituality. Okay, they yearn for the truth, but as the scriptures say, the election have attained it, but the rest are blinded. So Esau or Salakia, Satan, Israel's trying to make the attempt, but they got to understand that it's a proper way to go through. To get to this truth, it's a proper way, it's a proper order, But again, our people are basically in a position of basically parroting what they see. That's why you see a lot of our people they're in the spirit of patriotism, or they believe in the so-called Second Amendment. And like I said, when it really comes down to it, our people were warriors. Okay, our people were warriors. So there's nothing wrong with knowing training and knowing how to defend yourself. But when it's all said and done, we need to get up in them chariots, because there's nothing else that's going to be able to redeem us from what's coming. Nope. But Yahweh was shy, okay? And the righteous angels that are going to stand on our behalf. But if you don't know that, then you're only going to rely on what you've been taught according to the way of the world. Again, our people are really void of that righteous spiritual judgment. They're void of righteous spirituality. Our people are spiritual, but they're void of that righteous spirituality, which is coming into the understanding of how to serve their power. Once you start to serve Yahweh Shem Shai with fear, the Lord provides these things for you. Protection, right? He provides the way that we should go. So, so if there you have a precept.
I was trying to get one. I was trying to think of a verse, but I was trying to. I'll finish this one.
Okay.
All right. I had a verse I wanted to get.
Oh, all right. Yeah. That's a beautiful precept. Hey, shalom to the brothers out in Pittsburgh. I believe that's the brother Ariella. Hey, he brought out 2 precepts. I'm going to read them 2 real quick, and then we'll move on. So the first one he got was Proverbs 3:5. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not on thine own understanding." Right, man. Because the thing of it is the Lord set the way that we should go, and we got to abide in it. Okay, so we got to withdraw ourselves from the things that we think we know. As the scriptures say, to not make any provision for the flesh, man, because we don't know where we're going to be. But who's with us constantly and always? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. If we abide in his commandments, if we keep the faith, all right, if we keep our integrity, then the Lord is going to provide for us. So that's a beautiful precept. It says it all right there.
Khan. Shalom, brother, shalom.
The next one is Psalms 44:6. It says, "For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me." Wow, that's right, man. That's right. So even though we got maybe, certain brothers got training, certain brothers got, things to protect themselves with, ultimately, you're not going to put your trust in that. Now, the word trust means to have confidence in. Your confidence, your dependence, because that word confidence actually goes back to the word dependence as well. Our confidence and our dependence is solely on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The Lord said to wait ye upon him. So we're waiting on him to get us through these different situations that we're gonna face. All right, and that's a daily thing. You got to learn to have that mindset daily. Prayer daily, right? Abiding in his word daily, because that's what's allowing us to continue to be hedged in that mercy, right? Because there's a condition for these things, and most of Israel is without that. So, hey, man, like I said, Esau's an opportunist. So, yeah, our people are going off. There's all this different uptick in violence, which we read the precept and the prophecy on it, that the love of many was going to wax cold. We're seeing the love of many wax cold, but he's going to use this as a springboard or a bridge to bring in other legislation to take away people's right to protect themselves. Okay. And the much larger issue at hand is the very fact that we're coming into a time where Esau is going to come in like a flood, and he's going to kill everybody. And as a byproduct of going after the Israelites, he's going to kill even his own. Anybody that's against his NWO, he's coming up against. So what is our protection? Is it in guns? Is it in, the food that we got stored up? Is it in any carnal thing that we can see? No. Our hope, our faith, our trust is invested in this word, invested in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's going to be our safety and our security, man.
Hey, Kun, if I may say, that sounds like Jacob's trouble to me.
Right.
Sound like Jacob's trouble. That sounds like we should be preparing for Jacob's trouble. And who's going to help us? All right, I got a verse, if you don't mind, Salakia.
I don't mind. I got a couple precepts.
Which one? You want me to get your precepts first?
No. Oh, well, you know what? Just real quick, if we can, just to hit the main points. Get Psalm 64.
Psalm
64 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and just go ahead and read. I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay. Psalm chapter 64, verse 1. Hear my cry. Hear my cry, O power, Yahweh Yahushua. Attend unto my prayers. For the end of the earth will I cry.
Is that Psalm Salakia, brother? Is that Psalm 64 and 1?
Oh, 64 and 1. Salakia. Okay, 64 and 1. All right. Psalm chapter 64, verse 1. Hear my voice, O power Yahweh Yahushua, in my prayers. Preserve my life from fear of my enemies, of the enemy.
Right, the enemy, all right, in particular is the Edomites.
Correct.
Because they're the ones pushing forth with that wrath, okay, because they know that they have a short time, putting in all these legislation, putting all these things into play to try to bring about his NWO. And their main focus is on the Israelites, okay? They want to depopulate us in particular. They want to, basically destroy our memorial from off the earth, separate us from our power, and put us in a continual captivity so that they can continue to rule. All right?
That's right.
And that's why the Lord said if the time wouldn't be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, the time shall be shortened. That's what we see. Okay, the speeding up of time, the increase of prophecy, because the Lord is getting ready to come back and destroy this Edomite, destroy this devil, destroy his kingdom, and destroy all those that have joined themselves onto him. But he's coming to redeem his elect. So this is the prayer. Preserve our life from the fear of the enemy, because this man getting ready to come down hellaciously on the people of the Lord, man. Okay.
And he ain't gonna be fair.
Forcefully force them out of their houses, right? Shut down the cities, totally cut Jake off, and then we'll see how it's all gonna play out. Maybe it's an EMP attack, maybe it's a couple different events. Either way, they're gonna try to put Jake in a position where they choose the ways of the oppressor rather than the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And what do I mean by that? That digital Okay, because that video, man, that I sent you, what they're doing is they're preying on people's emotions. Okay, prey as in Prey. They're preying like a predator on people's emotions. So you know how this man deals: problem, reaction, solution. What's the problem right now? Oh, we got too many guns out there. You know, too many people possess these weapons. We got to get them off the street, to the point where people chant that mantra. They don't even understand what it is that they're asking for. You know, but you know, that's these people's problems, because we don't put our trust in weapons. We don't put our trust in carnality. We don't put our trust in these things. We put our trust in Yahweh Shem Shai. So that's really your problem. But it does play a part in prophecy. Okay.
That's right. We read on?
Read on. That's right.
All right. Psalm 64, verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
And we mentioned the secret counsel of the wicked. Basically him, okay, ordering this NWO and militarizing the police and these different factions of force to basically regulate that NWO. All right. And remember, there's a whole image to this beast system. And that image is the NWO using these different forms of the United Nations, these so-called peacekeeping soldiers, to enforce what he's bringing, to what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, to take away people's right to protect themselves and deem them domestic terrorists. Okay, these are all things put into play as part of that secret council, which is again why the name of the video is, you know, a small part of a much larger plot. Okay, because it doesn't stop with just taking your weapons. They're trying to take away everything. They're trying to put you in a digitalized version of what they would consider to be heaven, stripping you of everything. Right? It says that this man is going to be like a madman, sparing none. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. The brother's coming with those precepts.
All right, Con. I can't see him on my side, brother.
No, Con. Let's see. Okay. Now you should be able to see it. This is 2nd Ezra 16:71. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still in destroying those that fear the Lord. Again, a small part of a much larger agenda. So they're going to play on people's emotions, and you're going to see certain things. And you got our people that are going to call for that. Yeah, take away the gun. Do this, do that. Because they're just repeating what they hear. Okay? Because they don't got that hedge. All right? That enchantment wouldn't work if they abided under the shadow of the Almighty, if they abided, okay, in the fear of Yahweh Shem Shai. But see, they're being taken by these things. This is the very same reason why when they're presented with that digital all, they're going to take it. They're not going to withdraw themselves. They're not going to be disciplined enough to trust in the Lord and wait till he provides. All right? You know, and Israel was like that in the wilderness when we were being brought out of Egypt.
Con.
Okay?
Let me turn my phone sideways.
The next precept the brother brought out was Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice in the heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, the Edomites, is come down on you, having great wrath. Right. And they just recently announced, and you got this guy, you know, what's his name? Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab, yep.
Yeah. So they're making into that NWO, into that digital global currency. You had the World Economic Forum with that female, you know, saying, "Oh, I'm going to say this boldly," telling you what they're going to do before they do it. Okay, that's that left-handed prophecy, if you will. Okay, where they, you know, tell you what they're going to do. They put it in plain sight, and then they enact it. And what is that? That's what is that? The book of Micah, I believe. When it's in the morning of the, it's in the power of the hand. Right, because it's in the power of their hand. So they're utilizing the power that they've been given, all right, and it's been given into their hand for a certain amount of time. See, they know that they're limited on the amount of time that they have in order to, you know, put all these things forward. That's why the scriptures tell you that in his sufficiency he shall be in straits. So he's setting up, okay, to come down with that great wrath. And it's a global thing. All right. The things that we're seeing in other countries, like, brother, you sent that video where I don't know what country it is that they're in, but they were throwing the dollar bill out like it was trash. Like it
It's
was
over.
trash. Okay. All right. Germany is seeing a food shortage. Russia is saying you can't invest in certain resources unless you invest in their currency. So basically, we're seeing this massive transition, this global transition take place on the earth. So again, it's a small part of a much larger plot, which is that secret council of the wicked. Now, I know I was long-winded. That's because there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of moving pieces to the secret council. The secret council is these global top elite, which are Edomites trying to rule and govern the whole earth and try to take out the Israelites, man. You know?
Yeah.
Because they don't really care about us. They don't care that we over here killing each other, which Jake is being wicked as all hell. They don't really care about that. What they care about is taking away people's right to protect themselves so that they have less resistance when they fully come in with those troops. Because you got to understand, they're going to experience, excuse me, let me slow down. They're going to experience a certain level of resistance, but by and large, they're going to be overwhelmed with the technology that Esau has, because you got to remember, Esau is the Lord's sword. Esau is being used right now to destroy the world, okay, destroy certain nations, and to put hell on Israel. So our only way to escape this is in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. So
that goes to the roll call.
Brother, with all that being said, you can you could read down to verse 4. Read verse 2 again and go down to verse 4.
Salakia.
Psalm 64.
Yes, Psalm 54. Salakia.
So when you see different things being put in media, it's all for a particular purpose. All right. The word media means convey spiritual messages. So they're putting that idea in the people's minds so that they're able to, with least resistance as possible, come and take away your rights. And people are willingly submitting themselves to this sacrifice. It's basically a sacrifice, especially amongst our people. Our people are given over to the slaughter, as it's written. All right.
That's the whole agenda.
No matter what it is, no matter what the circumstances. Okay. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get death if you trust in Esau, man, at the end of the day. But anyway, go ahead.
Psalm chapter 64, verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Right. They're the workers of iniquity. Now, the brother read earlier, the definition for iniquity means to be void of the law. So they're going outside of the commandments of the Heavenly Father. And that's Psalms the 50th chapter. He kept the words of the Most High behind him. He calls himself a God-fearing nation, but he doesn't enact God-fearing principles. He doesn't enact the law, statutes, and commandments. He's in actual opposition of the Lord and the commandments, as well as his people. You can read about that in Psalms the 2nd chapter, that he comes up against the kings of the earth, mind you, not just Esau. All the kings of the earth come up against the Lord's anointed and the Lord. And they do that through policy. They do that through the laws that they pass. All right. So that word there for insurrection, I believe, goes back to the word ragash, which means a conspiracy or to conspire. So ain't nobody can laugh at us for being conspiratorial, if you will, okay? Because there is an actual conspiracy, which the word conspiracy means where two or more gathered together in the same purpose. And the elites of Esau, as well as the heathen nation, all join themselves in one accord to cut ourselves, or to try to cut the nation of Israel asunder. Right?
Yep.
Because if we don't come into the knowledge, if we don't come into our heritage, then that means they can continue to rule. They can continue to profit off of our enslavement. So they have that union amongst them.
That's
right?
where the digital oil come from. When they want to put that inside you,
Right.
and what they want, that's to control you. What's that guy, Alan Russo? What he said? He said he said that he was talking to that Rockefeller fella.
Yeah, yeah,
He
Nick
said, oh,
Rockefeller. It was Nick
yeah.
Rockefeller.
He said, yep. He said that, oh, if you put this inside you, and then if you don't comply, they turn off your chip. I mean,
Right.
Salakia, they turn off your Mac, your Bismarck.
That's right. That's right.
And the
That's
next
right.
thing you ain't got no food. I remember seeing a video, an old movie, right? If you don't mind me saying this, the lady had a baby, right? And she didn't have no food. It was a movie. It was one of 666 movies, right? And she
Right.
went in there and had the military there, the military and a lady, a secretary. She was like, "Oh, are you ready to take the stamp?" They call it the
Yeah,
stamp in the movie.
yeah, I think the brother Zion, yeah, he showed me that. I forget what the name of the movie was. That was an older movie, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And the military was there, and
Yeah.
she wanted to feed the baby. He ain't got no milk. That was supposed to be a Jake woman.
Right.
That was supposed to be a Jake woman. He ain't got no milk. My baby, he's hungry. He's hungry. And the military there, why you got the military there? What I thought, where's the love of the people?
Right.
Don't you understand, you Negroes, Hispanics, and American? This is about you being the control. They want to be your God.
Right.
Ashashua wants to be your God.
Right. Right. And they're basically moving the pieces in the play to try to become that. But the joy and the hope, okay, is that the Lord has set their bounds and that they cannot pass. So they're only going to get those in whom the Lord allows them to get. But the elect, they're going to be safe. And see, that's who this message is really for, the elect of the nation of Israel.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
brother. It's the spirit when the brother's bringing out the same precepts that you got lined up in the lesson.
wow.
So finish. Can you I'm gonna read these brothers' precepts, but I want you to finish Psalm 64 and read down to verse 4.
Okay. Psalm 64, verse 3. Who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Right.
So we know, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because now what's happening? That's their legislation, that's their words, their politics, all the things they're doing behind. Hey, I was just watching the Elder video of Salakia. It goes right into the topic. Not Elder Malcolm in Chicago put up a video, and he said that I think it was Malcolm, but it was some guy that said that that I remember it was I forgot who it was, but they just signed the legislation over there in LA that they fully pushed all companies to put Florence Nightingale on everybody.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So they out there signing these legislations behind the closed door, right when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. Oh, let's smack Chris Rock. You Will Smith, we're gonna take all your things, we're gonna degrade you just so we can push our thing.
Right.
Everything is smoke and mirrors. You can say what you want, but we ain't fooled by your who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. That's what you're doing. You're behind the scene doing this madness.
Yeah.
You think our apostles and on down, we can see what you're about.
Right. But it goes to make the point, Salaki, it goes to make the point that Esau's main objective is to come after the Israelites, because remember, that's the main two characters in the Lord's movie, is Jacob, which represents the righteous, and Esau, Edom, which represents the left-hand side. So those are those two opposing forces. So this is the reason why we see him doing what he's doing. Okay, this is his response to basically him losing the blessing. This is his response to him not being the chosen. This is his response to him selling his birthright. Okay, which was all established before either Jacob or Esau was even born. That Jacob would receive the ultimate blessing, and that Esau, he would get a blessing, but it would come via the sword. But it was only a temporary blessing. It wasn't the blessing that was bestowed upon the Israelites, where we would rule forever, and we would be the Lord's people, and He would be our power. That's that special connection between us, Yahweh, us as Israelites, and then the Most High Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, Bahashim, in the name of Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son that sitteth at the right hand. That's that special connection that we have. Okay, so He designated us to be those joint heirs with Him, where we would rule underneath dominion and righteousness, okay, upon us, the establishment of the kingdom, which is what we're in. That's what we're building. Okay, that tabernacle of David that's fallen, okay, and building it even better than the former. So this is why you Israelites need to get down with the program, because if you're out here thinking that the way is, trusting in whatever firepower that you got or whatever carnal means that you think you're going to be able to defend yourself, it's going to fail. That's what you need to understand. It's not going to work. All right. It's not going to work. And you got to also understand that this is part of a much larger agenda to destroy you. Read verse 4.
Okay, come. This is Psalm 64, verse 4.
The point has been made.
Okay. Psalm 64, verse 4. They may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Right.
Suddenly,
that's what they're intended. That's the intended target. Okay. Now, as a byproduct of Jacob's trouble, as they're trying to, destroy us, they're going to destroy a lot of their own. Okay. And we're going to read about that. And the brother already actually put the scripture in there, but we're going to get it. We're going to get it again. And we're going to pretty much close, because I believe the point has been made. All right.
Right. And we are the perfect.
Honestly, this could be like a continuing series.
Yeah.
Because everything leading to that point, everything is culminating into this World War III. But remember, we're not going to see World War III without that mandation of the digital all. And they're making, incremental steps, which they're moving very fast now. Okay, as the brother put the precept, Revelation 12 and 12, they know that they have a short time, so they got to do it now. Okay, and the Lord is basically pushing their hand. The further they move along with what they're doing, the quicker the Lord is going to come back and destroy them and deliver the elect. So,
hey, and we are the perfect. We the perfect. The Lord said we are His apple of His eye.
That's right.
And if we the apple of the eye, that means we perfect. There's in the hopeful elect, we those men, the elect, there's no guile in them. The Lord put the hopeful elect in here to show them, listen, this is we're learning we're learning the left-hand side of our power. And that's what's happening. We becoming the perfect is already perfect. And we're gonna show out, we're gonna boast it in the kingdom. We're gonna boast it in our kingdom. This kingdom is going down, man. It's over. Salakia.
Khan, this is the book of James, chapter 3, verse 2. It says, "For in many things we offend all." It says, if any man offend not in word, which is truth, the same is a perfect man.
Say, there you go.
And
we don't offend the
body. So, right, if we don't offend in word, right, we're considered perfect, right? Because the Lord is basically weighing our reins. It's our faith. Right. And we have the faith that this is okay.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. Oh yeah, this is also James 1 and 4. It says, "But let patience have her perfect work," which the word patience means to have the quality of suffering, which is also part of the topic, which is also part of the lesson, because we need to learn more discipline. To trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai requires you to wait, requires you to, withstand certain attacks, okay, until the Lord is, ready to perform His work and deliver you. But it says, "Let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing," meaning perfect in the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay,
and that makes you, and that in the eyes of the Lord, that makes you, that the Lord looks at you. Look at my fine servant doing the will. Right. Remember, look at Job. Look at Job. The Lord put Job through the ringer just for us to learn him. What happened to Job? We the new Job. Because what does Job mean? Job means hated.
Yeah. We're in the
You
spirit
know?
of joy. Absolutely. Khan. So I think that was it on that. Did you finish verse 4?
All right, let me finish it up. All right, this is Psalm 64, verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. And they don't fear Yahweh Shemel Shah. They don't fear what Yahweh Shemel going to do to them for what he's shooting at his perfect men. Hey, the 2/3 they out here like with this story with this video was about about the ones that's just out there. The 2/3 are
Right.
just out there,
Khan.
not fearing their power.
Right.
And then you got the one that the Lord hates the most shooting at the perfect. Not only we have to worry about the 2/3 running down on us because they coming too. They coming too.
Yeah.
They gonna come. You think they not mad at Babylon about the front fall? They mad too. What you mean you ain't gonna take Florida Nightingale? What you mean that this gonna happen? Why we can't like the Ukraine dudes over there?
Right.
No, you're not. They listen, like Apostle said. What do Ukraine got to do with you over here? What about all the 500 years of slavery?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to your mess that you put in? You got to worry about your own mess.
Yeah, I seen a video where loosely quoted, the guy was like, they want these devils want you to take up for the Ukrainians, yet these people don't take up for you over here on this side of the world. And here it is, you gone through all this hell, you call all this hell, right? You went through racial segregation, all right? You went through the Reconstruction period, you went through hardcore bondage, okay? From the 1500s all the way through the late 1800s. And then yet still you're treated as a
an outcast,
as an undesired
a
thing.
reproach.
You're still considered an undesired thing, yet Jake is supposed to be all in for these different causes at the word of the Edomite. Okay. So reading on, well, the next precept I'd like you to get, brother, is 2nd Ezra 15 and start at verse 14, because it ties in with Psalms 64 and kind of back to the video. Like I said, the video was just a reference point because we're seeing all this violence in these major cities, especially in Philadelphia, where multiple times a day now you're hearing reports of all this gun violence, which is a mantra that they've been chanting for quite a while. And yeah, they're going to go for the guns, but it's a part of a much larger plot, which is bringing in that NWO, taking away people's rights to protect themselves, making you an enemy of the state, putting you in bondage, and ultimately trying to put a digital all in you for ultimate control. Now, how does that to Israel? Because we're warning you of these things to come, to set yourself in order, trust in the Lord so you don't get taken by these things. Because this man is getting ready to come down, man.
With great wrath.
With great wrath. Right. He's using the wickedness of Israel as an opportunity to do more wickedness, to put more hell on you. So we got to get the hell out of here, man.
We got to get the fuck out of here, bro.
We got to get the hell out of here.
What was that you wanted?
Yeah, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Which one you wanted? 2nd Ezra what?
2nd Ezra 15 and started verse 14, I said.
Okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14.
Right.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14.
Right.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction dwelleth nigh.
Right, now the ultimate sword is the missiles, but that's representative of destruction as a whole. There's going to be a lot of things that lead up into World War III that has to happen. A lot of death, a lot of destruction has to take place. Men warning against themselves. Well, we're gonna let it read. Let it speak. Let it speak. It's gonna tell you exactly.
You're absolutely right. All right, Salaki. All right. For the verse 15, for the sword and their destruction dwelleth nigh, and the one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be those little them skirmishes, them wars, them little insurrection. What's that called again? Class wars.
It's gonna be civil war.
Yeah, yep. Class
Civil war,
wars.
which I don't like to use the word war because the apostle already brought this out. It's going to be skirmishes, meaning you're going to have pockets of these things happening.
Yeah.
All right. So
classes, like different
right.
classes.
So you're going to have classes, war classes, which we're already experiencing that now. Those that
Yeah.
have the haves and the have-nots, right?
Yeah.
Not only a social class, um, financial class, civil war, racial clashes, right? So that's exactly what it's talking about. That's exactly what it's talking about. All right. They're gonna come up against one another because you're gonna have those that have it, there's those that don't. All right.
That's right. That's right. Read on.
People separate each other by race. People are gonna separate each other by class.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that division take place now.
That's right. It's happening now.
More and more and more, man.
Gradualism is leading up.
Right.
The fire, they adding fuel to the fire.
Right.
And you can't deny it now. This is 2022. You can't. It's undeniable, bro.
Right.
They can't. What they doing right now? They live in they having blind faith.
Right.
In the wrong thing.
Than they've ever these people slack you, brother, but these people have been divided more than they've ever been politically, more than they've ever been financially, more than they ever been in terms of what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, it's like you said, it's we here now. It's there, it's on.
It's on.
Go ahead.
Rightfully so, bro. Rightfully so. This is what we've been preparing ourselves for, because we're tired of this place, man. We're tired of looking at these people, and we're tired of our people in this predicament. All right, this is what's happening. We tired of it, man. We tired of going to fucking work for Esau.
Come on.
We got holes in our pockets, man. Why we living like this? Why do Evelyn Rothschild and the rest of them fools got everything? What about us?
Right. Yeah, those are actual servants in high places right now. Those are the servants on horses, while the princes, which are the Israelites, are walking around as servants, and the Lord is getting ready to undo all those who have a hand in our captivity, begin with the Edomites. So, it's a very beautiful thing what we've seen play out, like the brother said,
Right.
Just like the brother said, man, it's about time we've seen these things. It's about time that everything that we've been saying, we're witnessing before our very eyes. It's actually a blessing to have come this far and been able to experience all that we've been able to experience, and to be able to experience what we're going to experience, man. This is exciting times that we're living in, as brothers would say, and it truly is. So,
I couldn't ask for nothing more. I'm like, for all our patience and enduring at this time, for this is making us greater. It's making us greater, and we're gonna have a legacy. Do you know what our enemy right now is? 11:44. We about to experience this from this saying that coming out, following these numbers and knowing it's to be half the battle. Now we about to be the ones, and you know what? And Duwadi Abashim Al Shah for having us with the right men, and we can't ask for nothing more. This is what preserved us. This is what preserved us for the last. I'm making those cherry get screwed up out of here. So, all right, want me to read on, Elder?
Yeah, I'll read on to verse 16, brother.
Okay. All right, it says, 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 15. For the sword and destruction dwelleth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Right, that's part of what we started with on the top of the lesson with Matthew 23. Because iniquity found, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay, no compassion, no mercy, because it's going to be a different spirit out here. It's going to be different, different situationally, right? With this inflation and the supply chain disruptions, you're going to see how cold a person can become. All right.
And it's a cold world, bro. It's a cold world.
Right.
Verse 16. For there shall be sedition amongst men.
Right. Now that word sedition means to incite rebellious speech or behavior. So that's what you're going to see take place. Remember how I said that Esau's expecting a resistance? You have these different groups who are basically blowing the whistle about what Esau's trying to do. So this is where that resistance is going to come into play. All right. That's what that whole January 6th was about, where they took an event, all right, and they blew it out of proportion, staged it to try to bring about new policies, again, to try to make the American citizens basically domestic terrorists, okay, because they know that there's going to be a time of sedition, a time of rebellion, a time where people are going to speak out against the government. So they're trying to get a handle and a hold on that while they're passing different policies of things that you could say. Because right now, we're at a time where you got literally censor the way you present certain material. Otherwise, they'll, take you off certain platforms. So how much more in the coming days when they physically start just taking things from people, which they already shown you that they can do that. Through this whole scandemic, they've been showing you that they can do that.
Scandemic.
That's right. They've been showing you this whole time. Look, no mask, no service. No proof, no service. Right? No Florida Nightingale, no service. Right? No provision, no entertainment. Right? So it's all, like you said, you mentioned the word gradualism or incrementalism before. That's how they've been doing it, in stages. A small part of a much larger plot. These little pieces are coming together now.
And did you see that video where Apostle
trying to take away people's shit to controlling people's lifestyles through this scandemic? It's all brewing to that, because they are expecting great resistance. When this power gets turned down and they try to push that shit on people, they know people are going to stand up and fight. They know people are going to stand up and fight. They know that people are going to come up against one another. They know they're not going to listen to no government entity, which we're getting ready to read. So their whole thing is, okay, how do we get ahead of this? So that's why they're using these certain situations where Jake is fucking killing one another. Oh, we got this, this is a crime.
Smoke and mirrors.
We got to take away this. We got to do that, because they're setting up to fucking shut this shit back down. And you Israelites are not fucking paying attention. You're not preparing yourself. And this is what we're trying to warn you about, because this thing ain't no damn joke, man. This thing is about to get fucking deadly serious, which has been deadly serious. But you're about to find out the hard way that it was deadly serious.
That's right. And it says 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 16.
Okay? Stop trusting in carnality and repent and get right with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because that's your only way to survive what the hell is coming, man.
That's right. It says,
go ahead.
What that verse said right there is, it says,
verse 16.
No, I'm sorry. Read on. I see another verse up there from the picture, brother.
Yeah. We're gonna end on some of the precepts that these brothers were putting. I just want to hit this point real quick, and then we about to close, because we are
about an hour. So. For verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men.
Right, like I said, that word sedition, when you look it up, means to incite rebellious speech. All right, go ahead.
And invading one another.
That's right.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That's right. They should not regard their kings nor princes. That's the government. They might go, hey, which makes logical sense. That happened before when I forgot what I don't know what country where they ran down their government, pulled them out, dragged them down the car behind the car. They're gonna do that to these politicians.
Right.
These governors, these mayors.
When the French were having all those protests, they were fighting against the police every single damn day.
Okay.
The yellow vest protests, And that's people are going to get to a point where they're not going to put up with this stuff no more. They're not going to put up with the government no more.
No. Cuz I can't wait, bro. I'm sick of this place. And we need
Right.
this the ushering in our king. He said with much tribulation.
Con.
Much
right.
tribulation, man. We're gonna enter to the kingdom. The righteous scarcely gonna be saved, bro. The words is written. Righteous is scarcely gonna be saved, bro. Right? For there should be sedition among men, invading one another.
Mm-hmm.
And they should not regard their kings nor their princes.
Right.
And the course of their action shall stand in their power.
Right. So they're going to get that resistance. What they're trying to avoid is the very same thing that they're going to get. Now, by and large, a lot of it is going to be quelled because, Esau got bigger weaponry and he got technology on his side. But the point is there. They're going to receive resistance on all types of sides, on all sides, So this is why they're going to be bringing in UN troops. This is why they're going to be bringing in Gurkha troops. This is why they're going to be bringing in different weapons, to subdue the people.
And this is where the 2/3 is going to feel the wrath.
Right. That's right. Well, if you read down to verse 17, that's basically you, Jakes, man, because y'all are dependent on this man's system as a whole. Okay. And you haven't really, for the majority of our people, they haven't come to the realization that, without Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you don't have an option. You're going to do whatever this man tells you. So read verse 17.
Come. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 17. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able.
Right. Hey, and that's really more so directed to you Israelites, because that's how Israelites basically do commerce. They go into a city, do their shopping, they go to the markets, right? So if you ain't able to not able to go to the store, you're not able to go do what you normally would do to provide for you and your family, because the cities are going to be shut off. The cities are shut off. Nothing's coming in and nothing's going out. So, that was pretty much the point. Obviously the whole chapter is good, but for the sake of time, we're just going to cut it there. But that's coming again. We've seen elements of that taking place during the scandemic, and we're going to see basically a revised version of this precept, where it's going to be fully enacted and nothing's going to get in and nothing's going to come out, man.
Hey, they tried that. They tried that when they had the scandemic, right?
Yeah.
And they had certain sections. So we're going to section off. You can't go to New York. You can't go to past PA, and you can't do this. They tried that. But that was a prelude for what's to come.
That's exactly right, brother. That's it. Yep. I guess I'm going to read this real quick. This is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." This is referring to the Edomites. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Right? They're in their kingdom. They're in the seat of power right now, and they're the ones enacting these different orders to try to retain their blessing, which is to rule the world by the sword. But you know what? The Most High, is going to take them out of power because they have a certain limitation where they can't go beyond. And so every move that they take forward is really against, it's towards their demise. It's against them. So, that's the ultimate message. Is you're not going to get to the elect. You're going to take out 2/3. You're going to take out basically the undesirables of the Lord, but you're not going to get to the elect of the nation of Israel.
And they definitely practicing what they legislation. They up in their bed saying, how we going to do this? How we going to... They can't go to sleep without some type of carnage.
Right. Well, that's why they're setting up for the next big event, whether it's an EMP attack, because there's a lot of talks about cyber attacks. We're going to see something. All right. Make no mistake about it. We're going to see something, man. All right. Especially with the current economic state of things. We're going to see something major, man. Abaratazah in the very near future, in the coming days and weeks. The brother put, this is Lord's Will 144. This is Zechariah 13:9. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire. That's representative of the 144,000. Okay. And
1/3.
right. And refine them as silver is refined, which we're going through that refining process now. That's why we're making the necessary sacrifices, and we are, rehearsing these things to be better disciplined for when that time comes. We will be able to walk with a level of integrity. We're not going to compromise ourselves. So, we're coming into that, basically that Salaki. We're basically getting those impurities taken away from us, okay, and becoming a better quality of man that the Lord wants. So we are worthy to be accepting of that mercy. So it says, and we'll try them as gold is tried, and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. Right. So the name is important, and the elect are going to call on the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And it says, and I will hear them. Right. Reading on, it says, I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. Right, which we declaring that now. We've been reconciled back through the sacrifice of Yahushai. Our pure minds have been stirred up by way of remembrance, and the Lord has been merciful to give us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which pursuing to Isaiah 33:6 is going to be our stability in these times. So that's how important to have it now, to rehearse it, to practice it, and to meditate on it. Really is, because it's going to be what gets us through in the times ahead. So I don't really have anything other than that. Lord's will, this lesson was edifying, and inspires the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to keep enduring, keep pushing, all right, and keep doing what we have to do until the kingdom is established. So closing thoughts.
Downward chant now, we chanting down Babylon.
Khan. Okay, well, with that, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Hashem, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad the four winds of the earth. Shalom to all y'all brothers and few sisters that might have joined us for the live stream. To the next one, we say shalom.
Shalom.